I had another strange experience around the name Tom. In 1992, when Marie was visiting and we saw Tom Cruise in the commissary at Warner Brothers, where he was filming A Few Good Men. And I said to Marie, look at him. He's so cocky and confident. Must be so easy for him being the poster boy for straight masculinity, not having to worry about genderism and homophobia and attacks for being different. And Marie said, sweetheart, how long are you going to blame gayness for all of your self-esteem issues? Whew. But I realized that there was this very young part of me that was hanging on to the longing to have had my parents welcome me into the world by placing me in a cradle of unconditional love and raising me up and rockabying me high and safe above the self-doubting tides. Oh, that young part of me so wishes that he could say that that was his experience. But oops. As Marie would say, that would be telling porkies. And if I want to grow, I realized that I would have to try for something a little closer to the truth. It's hard to be gay if you don't trust men, if you think they'll betray you, not if, but when, because that was the way you experienced men from the very first day you were born. How can you be a loving man without the love of your dad? Gay or straight or in between, how can you have good self-esteem without a loving father bond in tender days back then? Was your father gentle? Was your father tough? Did your father show you he loved you enough? Was your father happy? Was your father sad? Did your father teach you that feelings were bad? Was your father present? Was your father kind? Did your father guide you or leave you behind? My father was fathered, as many men are, by a father who carried a father wound scar, like his father before, and his father before, a long line of fathers who walked out the door, a long line of fathers with wounds at their core, a long line of fathers who passed it on more. How can it stop with me? How do you wipe the family slate of all of those father wounds clean? How do you heal the cycle of pain, cycle of hurt, cycle of shame? How do you let go of all of the blame and wipe the father's slate clean? The chance for me came when my father got sick, with a brain tumor playing some cancerous trick, with seizures that violently hit hard and quick, leaving all of his limbs hanging useless and thick, except for one of his hands. I looked at him lying there hospitalized, pleading for mercy with terrified eyes, howling and growling with guttural cries, helpless and hopeless and infantilized. Do I really care if he dies? So what if he dies? Why not do to him what he did to me? Forsake him and leave him to his misery. Leave him to lie in his shit and his pee. Walk out and leave him like he did to me. But I knew if I did that, I'd never be free. And I knew if I did that, neither would he. And I thought of the lesson I learned from Marie. We have to choose who we will be. So I fed him and bathed him, and when he would weep, I'd cradle his head and sing him to sleep. I gave him a father I'd wished him to be. I gave him the father he couldn't give me. And that's when I saw what I couldn't foresee. Fathering him, I was fathering me, healing us both to be father wound-free and able to love and trust men. It's okay. And that's when he grabbed me with his one good hand in a grip that was strong and true. And I said, "Yes, Dad, you're still a strong man." But he shook his head no and said, "You." And I felt as tender as I'd ever been as I wiped his tears and wiped his bum and wiped the father's slate clean.